Alright, hello and welcome back to Downstage Gaming. I'm your host, Josh, and this is part 25 of our Let's Play of Head as Code. When we last left off, we went with Jasmine into the pool room, and Jasmine was sort of losing it. My current theory as things stand is, I think that Hannah... or my biggest guess is Hannah, but in some way one of the twins' brain or memories or something is in Jasmine for some reason, based on how she was reacting last time. I don't know how that's even possible, but anywho, she since then she went in this chair and something happened to her. Like, clearly something's off with her now. And so we're trying to figure out how to confront her about it. We could do it the direct way by talking about the chair directly. Or we could do it a little more, like, subtly with the key. Now, I've been going back and forth about this in my head. The chair, the direct way, it feels like, in part, that's what it wants us to do. Because otherwise we're being a quote-unquote coward. And it feels like Simon's whole thing is like, oh, I need to stop being a coward. I need to be more brave and direct and whatever. But then, with the way Jasmine has been acting, it seems like the direct approach probably isn't going to work. So I'm going to choose to go with the key first, and we'll see how this goes. I'm also just curious about the key. The key might have been our way out of here. I had to remind her about it. Once we would be outside, I could take her to a hospital or something and try to get her head back on right. What about the key you found? Do you know what it's for? Yeah, we had said that we were going to go look for the door after we were done in that room. She'd been toying with it for a while already, which only helped bring it to mind, too. I thought perhaps it might have occupied her mind the most. Right, the key. Good thinking, S. Huh? But I didn't do anything. No, I remember now. We won't need to take the train. Gosh, I'm so stupid. We can use the key over here. Come with me. What about returning to the leisure station? Nah, we don't do that in this path. In this path, everybody just goes wherever they want. She didn't answer me, instead choosing to vanish into the darkness of the passage on the side of the station. Wait, did she... Oh! Is this the door that, G and then us died out of that one time? She vanished into the darkness of the passage on the side of the station. Wait, did she have the key to unlock that hard, heavy gate? Is it for the gate? I think it is. E found it in the infirmary and gave it to me earlier. Let's see if I can unlock it. She grabbed the gate and pushed the key into the keyhole. I waited outside of the little hall for her to finish, content in being able to see something, as it was too dark inside. I think it's unlocking us. Come on in. The water's fine. I entered, rather eager to see where this thing would lead us. So does this open all the gates? Or just this one? The gate is kind of stuck, though? Like, it doesn't open. I'm gonna need your big, strong arms to pull on it and dislodge it. Oh, yeah, I can do that. Mr. Big and Strong, right over here. I cursed my ineptitude at maintaining myself in the face of compliments like those. I grabbed the gate with both arms and yanked. It didn't budge. So much for Mr. Big Strong. I tried again and grunted audibly under the force I applied to it. Tim the Toolman Taylor over here, grunting away. It's not moving even with my arms. Try harder. To be more of a man. I will! I yanked on the gate again, only to realize maybe it opened on the inside. Good thinking. I tried that too, pushing onto the gate, but it was still stuck. Ah! That thing doesn't want to move. I felt my way to the lock, using my hands to feel it up. Was it even unlocked? Maybe Jasmine didn't realize that the gate was still closed. I think the gate's still locked, Jazz. Yeah, I know. Suddenly, she flipped me over and pressed me against the gate. Well, what? I was so close against her. Is this the time for our romance to bloom? Clearly. I could feel her chest pressing against mine. What was going on? Keep calm, Simon. Keep it chill. It's just your friend, pressed up against you. It's just a friend who maybe might want to be more than friends. I repeated those words in my head, trying to stop my heart from beating so fast. I felt her breath against my skin. Something weird is happening here. What is this? Oh, she was close. It didn't help matters. Wait. Something felt kind of wrong with this, didn't it? Yet, I couldn't stop my head from growing more erratic as a result of the physical presence I felt against me. This feels very similar to the time we returned together on the couch, and she, like, got weird paranoid. She was so close. Her face was right in front of mine. I could barely tell thanks to the light from the other side, but it was there. There was a halo around her head due to the lighting from the outside. She was illuminated like an angel. Was she here to liberate me from hell? And yet, for some reason, all I could think about right now was the stupid train. Specifically, the memory of Marco, Jasmine, and I taking the train to go back home was occupying my head. The time I was so sleepy. Forget about it, Simon. She's gonna kiss you, you idiot, obviously. That's where this is going. I cursed at myself to try and regain some sort of mental foothold. I could feel it coming, but was she really okay with it? Jess, this is all very sudden, but... Shh. Some things are better left unsaid. She leaned forward a little more and I braced myself. And the pain rose from my chest. What? Sorry, Simon. You won't find me here. You won't find me anywhere. I am nowhere. What are you saying? I'm saying you should forget about me. My hands reached for my chest. Something warm was rolling over my fingers. I brought them up to my nose, trying to understand what it was. I don't think you want to know, Simon. It was liquid and smelled like metal. Blood? Did she... Yes. She stabbed me. I could feel the knife embedded in my body. Sorry. I didn't really want to get rid of you, but I want to get out. I want to leave this shitty place forever, and there's someone I have to take with me. See? That kind of thing is better left unsaid. You don't need to know when you're going to die. Who is it? Who do you have to take with you? I used my last breath to ask her. I wanted to know. Jasmine unlocked the gate in silence as my body slid down to the ground against it. She'd kept it locked to lure me over in a dark area. I had been had through and through. As the gate opened and she stepped over my fading body, she replied, and her words broke my heart more than the knife plunged into it. Not you. It was a good thing that darkness itself came for me that day. Oh, poor little Simon got kissed bad end. That was weird. Huh. I'm trying to think of who the person... I don't know if we have any good clues as to who the person she's talking about she must leave with is. For some reason, my initial thought is Ray. And the only reason I'm thinking that is because we know that there's some connection between those two that is not yet really spelled out. Alright, I'm sorry, I forgot to do my wee. Wee! Alright, there we go. Alright, so then, we're heading right back to where we were. Yep, okay. Now that's weird. Why can we unlock it? Alright, well, whatever. Let's head back here. Right back to where we started here. This time, let's make the right choice. Alright, so we head out. Jasmine's being super weird. Did she know something I didn't? Do I have the courage to mention the chair directly? Yep. I've got the courage. But that's what I'm curious about, is if that lock... If we didn't have the courage to say this option, unless we had gotten those two things that unlocks this blue path here. I can't stay silent about this. Jasmine, you're worrying me. I grabbed her wrist, pulling her away from the side of the station. The train arrived momentarily, but I didn't let her move forward when the doors opened. Let go of me. No. We need to talk. What happened to you earlier wasn't normal. We can wait for the train again after it goes. For now, we talk. Talk about what? There's no time to talk. If we don't hurry, everyone will leave and... Let them, then. I don't want to keep shoving each other into horrible situations that could leave us worse than dead, Jasmine. The nicknames. I don't care! Don't you understand my feelings on the matter? Jasmine, the chair. What did it do to you? You've been pensive this whole time. You barely listen to what I say. As I accused her, the train drove away, sensing no one nearby to take it as I pulled her back from her waiting spot. She weakly fought back against my hold, but I could tell her heart wasn't in it. Let go. It didn't do anything. I know what your favorite color is. It's blue, not green. I also know you're a great artist. So what happened with your eyes? You always seem to avoid situations with colors, don't you? In the security room, you shied away from the colored puzzles, even though it was nothing but putting the wires in the right spots. It wasn't hard, Jasmine. At the pool, there was a simple puzzle, but the colors of the rainbow in order, starting from green. You had me do it because you didn't want to. No, it's because you couldn't, right? In the infirmary, you were having issues with a simple color-based puzzle, too. I mean, I feel like this would be better if we actually had to solve those other ones, besides just the pool-related color puzzle. Huh. In the infirmary? Wait. I frowned, shaking my head. I'd never gone there. What was that about? Forget that. Anyway, the point is, you're bad with colors, Jasmine. It's time to talk about your color blindness and shame you for it. What's up with that? You suggested you weren't Jasmine, right? Then who the fuck are you? She remained silent for a while. Her free hand reached into her clothing. I saw a glint of metal cutting through the air, and I let go of her to avoid an extremis. You want to know who I am? Are you sure, Simon? You want to know who I am? The movement she made with the knife destabilized her to such a degree she dropped it to the ground. I watched as she reached up to hold her head again, much like she'd done in the pool. I'm a bad girl. Sorry, couldn't read that line any other way. I'm a bad girl. I've done such terrible things. I've manipulated people. I've killed people. I've sent teenagers, Simon. I've sent teenagers to their deaths. Okay, this is further making me think that this is real Hannah. I don't know why real Hannah would be dressed as Jasmine. But, you know, we know that she has some weird dark past. You want to know who I am? I'm not Jasmine. I know that now. I have her memories, and those may be why I feel this remorse about my actions now. I was experimented upon. I remember being smaller because I was smaller. They operated on me until my body recognized this sequence of DNA as the right one. My entire body was changed. But I don't want to be Jasmine, no matter how much better her memories were. Still, I understand your feelings on the matter, so if you call me Jasmine, I'll respond to it anyway, for now. And about the real Jasmine? I don't know where she is. She's not here. She might not be anywhere. I don't know. She shook her head, shrugging at me afterwards. Then she walked to a plated wall, leaning against it while I grabbed the knife. I looked at it for a moment, as if contemplating why it was here. I didn't know how to take all of this. This explained all the inconsistencies with Jasmine so far, but I wasn't satisfied. I wanted to know who she really was, not who she wasn't. Jasmine, not Jasmine. I want to know who you are. I lifted my head to stare at her. So tell me. My real name? The one that means more to me? Jasmine bit on her lip as if admitting it was like slashing her final remaining link to me. It was as if she was giving up on the remnants of the memories surrounding me. Somebody give me a prize? A+ to Josh. Nailed it. It's Hannah. I'm Hannah. Whenever I looked at the twins, I had flickers of memories. Now I know my name. I recognized my sister. I'm Hannah, G's sister. When I sat in the machine, it unblocked my head. It removed the clouds, and now a sunny spring is in my mind. Or the imagined equivalent of it, anyway. They used this machine to implant false memories into me after changing my body to suit their whims. Who? I don't know. I tried to run away from them once. It seems like this group is against... rather, I want to say, I think Smiley is opposed to this group that experimented on Hannah. Which, based on the sort of factions that we know so far, would suggest there's a decent chance that the group that did this experimenting is Agnos, and whatever weird organization it is he represents. That seems definitely possible. I never caught their names. Some scientist or others who wore lab coats and strange black suits underneath. Their suits glowed green. It was kind of awesome, but they're pretty bad people. I don't know why they wore that, but it's what they had. She sighed, closing her hands into fists. She released her hold, clearly feeling utterly powerless in the wake of those memories. That's silly, right? I was replaced by an imposter, and not a single person noticed. I replaced Jasmine, and no one noticed. I guess all the memories of me working on something were fakes. Anyway, I have a sister to take care of now. She lifted her head to look at me. She looked so tired. I just wanted to grab her and hug her, but I was afraid. Oh, this... I just realized this puts a real tragic bent on the bit where this Jasmine goes crazy, and G comes in thinking that she did something, and like they attack each other or whatever. Because this is her sister. It's sad. It's sad. I just wanted to grab her and hug her, but I refrained. I didn't know if I had the right anymore. Maybe if she had been Jasmine, but she wasn't. Where was Jasmine? Was she captured by those men too? Yeah, why would they make her... Why would they turn her into Jasmine or give her the memories of Jasmine unless they're also deeply involved in whatever Jasmine's life is? Was she being tortured as I spoke to this lookalike? Do you know anything about where she is then? Sorry, I don't know anything about the real Jasmine. I color-coded that for ya. If I did, I'd tell you. All I know is that I can't be Jasmine for you anymore. I trust you understand. Okay, and this also, this makes last bit of her killing us make more sense and saying she had to leave with someone. The someone she has to leave with is G, because that's her sister. Right, I got it. An individual is shaped by the things they know, remember, and live through. They're made of their surroundings. If someone lives surrounded by a nice, happy family, then they'll grow accordingly. If someone lives through struggle after struggle, they will adapt and grow experienced with those. But they will never gain the innocent, happy life from that family. I may be Jasmine, I may be Hannah, but deep inside, I know what I lived through was Hannah's life. I can't be your Jasmine. All I can do is move on. It was easier to accept than I anticipated when I brought up the subject of my doubts, even if I was still shaken by all this. This meant that Jasmine was, at least, still somewhere outside. And you should move on too. For that, we'll need this. She reached back into her outfit. I grew cautious, knowing the last time she did so was to grab a weapon to try attacking me. A weapon which I now held, unsure of what to do with. I put it in my pocket for now. All she took out was a key. It's that key from earlier. I know what it's used for. It's for the gates. She pointed the gates in the darkness on the side of the station. With me, she walked over to it. I remained cautious, of course, and stayed outside until I heard the telltale click of a lock coming undone. A short moment later, Jasmine had opened the gate. Are you coming in? Let's go. I reluctantly entered the dark hallway. I didn't know what we'd find past this. After a brief walk, we found a brightly lit room. It was tiny. Oh, interesting. Upon entering it, I saw it wasn't a room, but an elevator. I mean, for a game in which the point is to escape, they sure did put a lot of ways to escape in it. Does this go outside? I think so. However, she pressed one of the buttons. Nothing happened. Maybe it doesn't work to leave. I think this connects with the passage beyond the scanner gate above. If that's the case, then we can't stop at any level beyond the scanner gate, or the outside. Maybe it's only used to move between floors. As to what's on each floor, I don't know. Let's try 2 floors down instead of 1. Down? Why? My sister is waiting. The elevator moved. Didn't take very long. We arrived at the level below. 2 floors below our previous one. Most of this was out of my understanding. Her sister was at another station altogether. What did this mean? Yeah, so again, I had theorized previously before that each of these has basically the same setup on each of these floors. Like, there's basically the same rooms and trains and all that going on. And I think in addition to that, it's not that there's a different group of people at each one. I think it's us. I think it's the same group of people on each of these different floors. That's my current theory. She led me out of there, giving me no choice. I entered the darkness, only to emerge from it moments later. Into the station I'd just left. Was it? How is this possible? Jasmine, what do you know? I'll let you think about it while you wait here. If I'm right, then you'll see the twins coming out soon. The twins? But I'm going further in with the elevator. I'll come back momentarily. And she vanished into the darkness again. What did this mean? Maybe the elevator wasn't moving up and down as I thought it was. Maybe it was moving sideways? If that was the case, it could move even faster than the train. Was it a teleportation device? No, that seemed even sillier. Aliens would have needed to invent that so we could use it. And there was none of that in this story. As the author, I can say, I contemplated what it really meant for a while. Jasmine emerged from the darkness again, this time running at me hurriedly. Simon, the last station is weird. As opposed to this? You really should go have a look. What happened? There's no one there. I thought I'd see Marco and Ray, but there's nobody. Just go check floor -28. We're on floor -26 right now, for reference. The floor marked -27 would be the reactor then, and -28 would be the station below it. Wait. What do you mean? That doesn't work. That's not how an elevator works. It moves sideways and... No, you're wrong. You're the one who doesn't understand how elevators work, Simon. Idiot. They don't move sideways. They move up and down. Every station here is not far away. It's on a different level altogether. But what about the train? We take the train every time. Oh, that map. I had a vision of that map. The one that said Oval Tree. Oh, I see. It's like a roller coaster that does the spin, except it stops there and then goes back around. Oval Tree. That strange map. The map that doesn't fit in with the rest. It's an anagram. Oh, wait, what? Oval Tree stands for elephant. God damn. Wait, do you mean that the elevator map was actually situated on both ends of the station? And to simulate the train moving, it was lifting the entire thing up and rotating it to fit the maps. Each station has either an exit in the upper left or lower right corners, which means that if you rotate all of them, they all end up with the same goddamn elevator. Okay, alright, it's starting to come together now. So some of this is starting to piece together, at least. Yes, that's correct. That's an elevator we're taking because each station is like a sandwich. In fact, this entire thing is an enormous, gigantic sandwich, and it's delicious. Each deck station on which we wait for the train is a slice of bread, and each station with some kind of active search area is one of the many meats between the slices of bread. Which means we're in some kind of deep underground tower. Ever had the feeling like you had a headache somewhere around this depth? A little, yeah. It's pressure. The ambient pressure is squeezing us. That's why you're having that headache. But wait. This means the elevators would need to lift or lower the train and also make it rotate. That's monstrous. I think we're against something bigger than we could have ever imagined. We remain quiet for a few moments in the light of these discoveries. Anyway, since you're not going down there, I'll just let you know what's there. But before she could speak, the twins emerged from the nearby lobby. Jasmine looked at Hannah while the two girls stared at us, surprised and apprehensive. Yeah, this perhaps reframes a lot of things. I'm gonna need to think about this as we continue. A long, awkward moment passed by until I cleared my throat. Listen, Jasmine finally moved towards the twins. She took several long-winded moments to explain everything to them. I didn't feel like I had the right to intrude on it, so I waited aside for it to be over. This doesn't seem like it's gonna go over well. Once all was said and done, Jasmine came by me again. Simon, I told them about everything. I'll be leaving with my sister now. So is H just okay with this? Or Android Hannah? It was difficult for me to imagine how the conversation had gone down. I hadn't paid attention to it to give them the privacy they deserved, or at least as much as they'd get in here. From what I could see, Hannah had accepted not Jasmine's words as truth. Perhaps she'd felt similarly in the end. If you're leaving, what does that do for us? Couldn't we just use the elevator to do so? No. The button that goes to the ground floor, floor 0, doesn't work. I assume we have to take the elevator from one of the scanner gates instead. Okay, otherwise we don't have access to it. That makes sense, alright. So just because you're at an elevator doesn't mean you're gonna have... That must be to ensure we solve the game the proper way. Stupid fucking game. And about the station below, what were you going to say earlier? Oh, that. You know, just go for it. Once I'll go, you'll have plenty of time anyway. I don't know if only 2 of us are allowed to leave. I know one thing, though. That 9th person business, it's a farce. I looked over at Hannah. For a split second, I thought it might have been the twin, but she shook her head. She's right. There's no 9th person, as far as we've found. Maybe there isn't one at all. There may have not been one, so it comes down to this. I know how to leave anyway. Wait, what is it? Before I answer that, I want to know, what's your collar number again? I wondered what that had to do with it. It's 2. Yours is 8, right? Yes, that's right. That's too bad, though. Nothing I can do about your own chances of escaping. Either way, whatever you do, don't walk up these steps. Wait, you're going to leave, even if you know it might lock us out? What do you want me to do, Simon? I can't leave with you. None of us here can. If you leave, maybe we'll be locked out. Maybe all 3 of us would be. Isn't that unfair, too? I had to admit, she did make a point. Maybe if the door's only open for 2 of us, as Smiley had emphasized, maybe the 2 who should escape need to be Jasmine and G. No, the real Hannah and her sister. Okay. I'll stay out then. I know if I enter after you both, everyone will be penalized. The pink-haired girl I once thought was my childhood friend smiled at me one last time. Was this the last I'd ever see of Jasmine? Thanks for your help, but now I have a sister to take care of, as I told you. You take care too, okay? I'll try to help from the outside in any way I can. Feel free to use the knife to defend yourself if you need to do so. Or give it to Hannah if she needs it more than you do. Whatever you do with it is up to you now. Just try to stay alive so you can escape and find the real Jasmine. Goodbye, Simon. In some fashion, I felt as though I'd been betrayed when she left the area with G. Did I have any chances of escaping now? As she disappeared with her sister, I wondered about this fate. Perhaps it was better this way. It was like Jasmine herself gave me the task to find her. A mission given by her. What else would I have to sacrifice to make it happen, though? Hannah. I turned around to face Hannah again. It's difficult to stomach it, but all along I've known, deep inside, that I wasn't Hannah. I don't really have a name, so I guess it's fine if you call me Hannah anyway. It's the only name I ever had. But now, I don't really know what to do. There's no place for me here. I'll stick around and help you, if you'll have me. I nodded. There's got to be another way to escape from here. Well, we could always investigate the lower station. If it doesn't bring us anywhere new, we could try to climb up the elevator shaft from the highest possible station. That way, we could emerge from the doors at the top and escape while avoiding Smiley's game. Seems sensible. Speaking of, has Jasmine, or the real Hannah, told you what I was? No. Is it relevant? I guess not, but it may be useful to know anyway. I'm not a real person. I'm some kind of clone, like a robot. I can go fast and hit hard. Both speed and power. Got it all. She flexed a little. Was pretty impressive. Couldn't help but break some kind of sad smile at the sight. Alright. Then you'll protect me. It's dangerous to go alone, so take this. Ha ha ha. I gave her my sword, the knife I'd had before. She held it for a moment before stuffing it in her pants, keeping it ready when needed. Alright. We might need that key Jasmine had. Damn. Don't worry. She left it to me, too. The girl took it out, showing it to me, as if to prove her words. I nodded and set off towards the darkness in the hallway. She followed me, and we both entered the elevator. Once inside, I pressed the button to go down, began moving. It's strange to think that all this time, we've been moving up and down instead of sideways like we thought. Where do you think we are for real? This isn't the metro. Maybe we're under it. Where? I don't know. Does it matter? I'm not sure. As long as we can leave somehow. The elevator stopped. I left and emerged back into the station, this time on floor -28, as I acted on what not Jasmine had suggested. The twin came with me, and we both examined our surroundings. Across the tracks, the station was closed. That was the lobby leading to the reactor. Marco and Ray were both taking their sweet-ass time solving this. Listen, if you knew what was going on in there, you might understand. I turned around and looked at this side. What not Jasmine, but really Hannah said was true. The door was open, and beyond was a lobby with a flight of stairs. What's in there? I was apprehensive about entering this place, because if it would detect me as a third party and kill Marco, Ray, and me, I wouldn't forgive myself. I told Hannah, and she took out the maps to check what it looked like on the reactor floor. Only one flight of stairs connected to it. Unlike all the other stations, there was no second set of stairs. Wait. The theater station also didn't have 2 flights of stairs. Could it be? I have a hunch, but I need to go inside to make sure. Want to come with? Sure. We entered the lobby. The door did not close behind us. I realized there was no way we could have gotten to this side of the station without using the elevator, or moving across the rails, too. I thought about it as we ascended. It couldn't get here because it was the station the train started at in our metro system. The same was for the upper area, the one with the theater. It was the station the train would be at when it came from the other side. As I thought about all this, the stairs continued. There were more stairs than I ever thought was possible. Despite that, I hardly felt tired. Maybe it was my adrenaline at work. Finally, we reached a lobby. We quickly stepped outside. It's just as I thought. The staircases connect. The one from the reactor connects to this one? Which one is this? We're at the theater, the absolute top. I think it's floor -2. After that is the theater itself, or floor -1, and finally, right above it is floor 0, or the metro itself. That makes sense. But these staircases only connect both ends of the metro tower. We can't use them to escape. Then we might as well take the elevator and unlock all the gates so we can freely move without using the train. We should be with the others in the lounge, too. Good plan. Let's do this. As we moved forward again, I froze in sudden shock. I realized something horrible. Hannah disregarded me and continued on. I couldn't move, though. If all the stations connected, and there really was only one working elevator for the entire lot, then that meant there really was only one exit. All this time, there had been one single exit. This confirmed what I feared earlier. Smiley said 2 of us could leave. He didn't say 2 of us and then everyone else when the 9th person came to get them again could leave. For some reason, I didn't think about this before too much. We really are stuck here, huh? I laughed sadly for a little bit. When I stopped, I realized Hannah had gone on ahead without me. I thought she would have waited, but she didn't. Well, guess I'll go search for her. I shook my head, having no goal anymore, as I called for the elevator. Since Hannah was using it a lot, it took me a while to get to me. I emerged at a floor that had called it. I thought it might have been Hannah, but as the doors opened, I saw a figure run away in the darkness. Of course, I couldn't tell who it was. Hannah? Let's continue going down and unlocking all of them. As I emerged from the darkness, I hit my foot on something. It was Hannah's head. Hannah? It wasn't attached to Hannah's body anymore. It was sliced right off. Her collar had activated for reasons beyond my understanding. It was also gone. Oh no. What happened there? Did someone do this? The figure that ran away came to mind. Someone had, then. I looked around her body, but the key to unlock the elevator was missing, and so was the knife. Who the fuck took them? Fuck! This was We were supposed to find another way out! Turning her body over, I noticed there was a stab in her chest, too. Why was this stab there if the collar had been triggered? This doesn't add up. The knife's missing, the key's missing, the collar's missing. Why? Because they needed the collar. So if I'm starting to piece together what I think Jasmine, or not Jasmine, was trying to suggest to us during that last conversation before she left, I think there's some kind of weird thing about how a pair can only lead together if they're the right pair. Like, I haven't thought this through completely, but like for some reason the number that real Hannah, not Jasmine, has, and the number that Greta has is somehow put together. Maybe it somehow makes a 9 in some way or something that allows them to lead together. And I'm guessing everybody has a person that they can go with. You just need to know who that is. And so in this case, whoever was Hannah's partner could leave if they had, or, well, Android Hannah could leave if they had Android Hannah's collar. Maybe. I don't know. That's just my current thinking. Stood back up and walked back into the darkness. I thought maybe I was frighteningly emotionless when faced with the fact someone died. Truth be told, I guess I just couldn't bring myself to care about anything, now that I knew I was most likely stuck here forever. I pushed on the button to go up one pair of floors. I didn't really know where I was going, but I was going somewhere. Didn't have the key, so I couldn't go down, only up. Only up. Certainly, the person who had the key, the knife, and Hannah's collar knew this. When I came upon the station above the previous one, I readied myself for the possible attacker. I could already eliminate 2 suspects, at least. The first to be eliminated was A, who was lying down in a pool of his own blood, clearly dead, with a bloodied knife making a trail from under him to the side. He must have been stabbed into him, and he removed it himself. The other suspect I could eliminate was E, which left only Marco and Ray. Why could I have done so? Because she was holding her bloodied body while sitting against the bottom of the wall. I rushed to her. Who's there? She coughed. I couldn't do anything for her as I watched her. I took her hand in mine, but as soon as I pulled it away from her, I realized how bad the damage was. There was so much blood. I could hardly stand the sight. Everything was blood. I don't think I'm gonna live. I'm just going to die like that. She coughed again. I never felt more powerless than this, but it was my duty to listen to her final words at the very least. I didn't know where it was bleeding, and I didn't know how to stop the bleeding. I wanted to help, but I couldn't. The worst of all I could do was trace my letter in the palm of her hand, hoping she would understand if I put S there. She nodded slowly. I see. So it's coming back for me now. Ironic, but listen. Listen carefully. I don't know why I'm telling you this, but I have a feeling I must. I must because it's the only time I can do so. So listen. Listen. She was growing weaker. I tried to urge her not to say anything else, but I didn't know how to. Whatever I said, she wouldn't hear. Whatever I did, she wouldn't see. All I could do was listen. The first letter is E. She stopped moving right away after saying this. What did she mean, the first letter? The first letter of her name? The first letter of what? After she was terminated, I could check her body for the wound better. She'd grown so stiff so quickly, though. It made the job a little harder than I thought. Judging by the trail of blood coming down from the wall, I could deduce whoever did this had a gun. The trails coming down were similar to what it would look like if someone shot through a body. I'd seen enough of this in movies and games to know what it looked like. What the hell? If someone was still armed, they'd be a problem. But why would they have grabbed the knife from Hannah then? A gun was way better. A gun beats knife any day of the week. Immediately following that thought, there was a sharp pain in my back. Someone chuckled behind me. Somehow, someone grabbed the knife and stabbed me. I couldn't turn around to see them. All I could do was fall down to the ground in silence. Ah, that's why. The knife was silent. The gun, not so much. That must have been why they grabbed it from the twin, then. I was only another victim to them. Whoever it was, they had to pay. Even if I couldn't make them pay, I hoped someone else would. All I could do was wait while darkness embraced me. Okay, so now we've unlocked dark green and got another letter for our light green path. I mean, so Simon was deducing there that based on who was left, that had to be Ray or Simon. We do have to consider the possibility that that also could have been one of the weird smiley heads. Because we've seen that those can be, like, activated, like the one that had H's body, or technically could have been G's body. So it's possible that that's not Ray or Simon, or, excuse me, Ray or Marco. Because that doesn't add up for either of their characters. I don't see a situation, unless Ray just totally loses it, right? Unless there's some situation where Ray runs out of his medicine and just goes crazy. I don't see why Marco would do any of that nonsense. I mean, so the big reveal there is definitely the layout bit. I mean, obviously also the thing of Jasmine, but I feel like the one that I did not see coming was that this whole thing is a vertical thing rather than a horizontal thing. Which I feel like at some point I had thought about, but I'm not sure if I ever voiced it. Because it does make sense as a sort of, like, twist in terms of how you think about this stuff. And again, I have to go back and think about how this changes some things about how we think about, like, if there's any time that a person got to a place when it feels like they shouldn't have gotten there, which I feel like has happened before. It could be because they have an understanding of how the system works or have the key that allows them to travel without using the train. So I'll have to keep an eye out for that as we continue on. But smile and shine once again. Alright. Well, that was quite a lot to throw at me here. We got our first letter. So E something L something Y. I don't know if this is actually going to spell a word or if it is just a code. I'm curious. Alright, but when we return, we're heading all the way back to this first choice we made on this new path. What even was this? It was to stay, right? Yeah. Everyone agrees to have 2/3 of them continue onward, prompting Simon to make up his mind on whether he wants to go or stay. Should we stay or should we go? Next time, we will choose to go. But until then, this has been Downstage Gaming. I've been your host, Josh, and I will catch you all next time.